Hello there, this is Otutu Okwo and
Stanley Okwo.
From the Grey Couch, right? A Grey Couch conversation. So,
Cross-cultural and transcultural couples navigating marriages with the fusion of ideologies and socialization from multiple cultures.
You can tell who the intellectual is already, right?
So that's why we're saying this is not necessarily a bad thing, because again, nanny goes. If there was a nanny or someone at home, you could both go out for a run. But since that was not the
Sup.
Sup. So Stanley wanted us to change the greeting, right? So we are trying something like sup. But this is
Stanley.
no,
Okay,
but
okay.
we didn't pause.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. We are back.
So, I mean, I had this impression whereby I felt I've been sold a bill of goods that was not of was a fraudulent bill of goods.
So let me, the extroversion was what I wanted to tap into, because I'm like, how do you have all these friends, right? I'm a person who just can be by myself. I used to think he was pathological.
Self-food books. And now the kids are picking up.
But
I think we've come a long way, right? But like for couples that are just getting married, right? A lot of people don't know what they're getting into. Sometimes they're like get into marriage because there's pressure, external pressures, or getting married because they feel like they have to, or things like that. So like, what are the messages you want to give those people that are just starting off?
So imagine that all marriages, you're starting out upstream on the Mississippi River. If you don't do anything, you're going to go south. But so you need to, if you want to stay up north, you need to paddle. It's how they say that it's not a passive sport.
You're going against the current.
But what we see, Hollywood, the books, the novels, is that once you
like
marry, happily ever after, and you stop. So you have to keep paddling. Kids come, more paddling. Careers change, more paddling. Taking care of grown-up parents, more paddling. But the idea we have is that I found the right person. Checkmate. There's nothing else to do. Is at least that's the mindset I had to change.
So marriage is actually the easiest part.
Yes,
Getting
the
married.
wedding. Yep, getting married. Yep, the wedding is actually the easiest dynamic of ownership versus the dynamic of inclusion. Those are two different approaches to how you take in the new bride, right? Because ownership means you have to please us, right? We paid the bride price and all of this. But inclusion means, you are so precious. You are being added to our family, right? As a new member of our family.
What is our household? What is our family? And separate that a little bit from my parents and my brother and her parents as well.
I think it's interesting because we've kind of taken a little bit of both into our family. So like his family is very generous within the family. But I feel like we've decided we want to be generous outside of our family too. So like there are friends that know our garage code. And so Rich makes this joke of like, all right, just like announce when you're here because I might be naked in the house.
So I'll answer that from two perspectives. Professionally, there is such a thing as caregiver fatigue. It's a real thing. It's recognized in caring for the elderly, people with dementia. It's recognized in caring for young people, young children who have special developmental needs. It's very clear. It actually leads to harm to the individual and it increases the chances of harm to the
situation.
person being cared for.
And by that token also, you have different outcomes, So when the outcome is not what you expected, you need to go back and look at the choice you made and ask yourself, the choice I made, was it the best choice I could have made? Or was it the circumstances that made me to make that choice, So when they see from a choice and an outcome situation, most times it's not a disappointment anymore. It's a learning curve, And every situation I've had my kids go through is always a teachable moment for me. Until they say, Daddy, okay, I've heard it. I said, okay, but the thing is, you've got to learn from every situation because experience is usually the best teacher. You made a choice, the outcome wasn't what you wanted, or you fell short of your expectation, or what you could actually have achieved with your capacity, then you need to look at it from the point of choice and outcome. You know, so usually it's not a disappointment, it's more of helping them to understand that the choice affected the outcome.
Got the
And
medication.
next time,
After working long stretch, just putting that in there. And when we were about to travel on the plane, she now asked me, where is the medication? I'm like, I left the medication on the table with the rest of your stuff. And that's how in Nigeria we say face change. If you know what face change means. Face change. And essentially, Christian sister here told me that she's not talking with me anymore.
Yep.
Because of medication. Because of medication.
I literally said that. I said, you have to allow me to be in my feelings right now, because I will not talk to you. All men are this, all women are this. Like all women have trouble. They're looking for the best man. Or, as he was saying, he's like, what do you want me to do? Like the woman, I'm trying to fix a situation here, and they say, no, I just want to listen to me.
And then the next minute they're like, you didn't do anything about the situation.
No, not about the situation, but some other situation, right? Like you're not proactive enough. And so my question is, but you have to realize that this is situational, right?
And my statement was a little more clarity, so that we know which instance we need fixing and which instance we need listening.
That's just and I know for a guy, automobile, this thing, I don't like it. So normally my own bit was that I will take her car to the car wash, let them do it inside and outside. Especially after the children finish eating inside the car, they've all messed the place up. She take it. I mean, I have keys to both. Have spare key of the car. Just sneak it out. Wash the thing and then put it back. Someone enters and say, this car is clean. So again, that's one. And the second one that comes to mind is, and again, don't judge, helping kids with homework. Man, I don't like that thing. So, but as per, there's a teacher in the house, and so homework and this is important to them. So I'm like, okay, and the kids obviously, but I'm like, okay, as a bit, you're at work, let me share. Okay, guys, bring out your homework. Let me see what do you have homework? Let's do it. And then not just doing homework, but going to see if they got the answers correct. I think is that going back that even pains me more, because it's like not only have you spend time with them, you now have to go back and see if they got the correct answers. And then upon all that, the children will tell you, Daddy, that's not how mommy does it too. No, Daddy, mommy didn't teach me like that. And I'm like,
out there, even when you try to do the things that he's spoken about, it may not just be there because you all are in a different season. So there is that piece. But then other times, I don't think about it much. I just prepare myself as a living sacrifice.
Lord Jesus.
Because I don't know that I think about it as much. Like, we're pretty active in this ministry, so. I just,
Are you saying you don't think about it when you come to my side of the bed? So.
No, so that's it. But I don't know how to say this. I don't know, like when I want it, I get it. Like even when
I love it. Readiness.
Like it's not like I don't necessarily like think about it. Like it's not a thing that I think about. Like when there's need. I'll tell you this though, we've never had a situation where either one of us said no in the entire time that we've been married, which is like weird. Like we've never said no. It's not a thing. So maybe that's why it's kind of difficult for me to answer that question, because on a regular, I don't necessarily need to do anything.
Yeah.
Somebody came to meet me as a doctor at a young age. The person was even older than me and said after getting married, the first night or two, he had to ask me, look, how do they actually have sex? I was asking about the real woman organs and where's that? He didn't know I was a doctor. And it was shocking to me. Now, so to any action you want to do during sex, only two rules there. One, there must be mutual understanding.
Yeah.
So, understanding and agreement. So if the other person doesn't flow well with it, discuss and let there be an agreement to know there's nothing evil in it. Because there are different styles, different everything is permitted as long as you both agree. And secondly, as long as you are not doing hurt or harm. You know, in medicine, we say above all, do no harm.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Don't let one person be very uncomfortable with it or not. And that doesn't mean you don't do it, but discuss it well. So that each person will be on the same page and do no harm. So that then the other part I always look at, again, a misconception. Is that some men feel macho when they say, I always ask for the sex, and the wife doesn't. But it just shows a defect on their part. It should be something that both man and woman enjoy.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why they don't is that the man just wants to satisfy himself than that. No, they have to be first concentrating on the woman, because the man's one is quick and late, right? If the woman fully, if you dedicate your time, make sure the woman fully enjoys herself, and that's the pleasure you should have for a successful sex life. The woman also equally ask and want it than just I'm always the one asking. No, that means you didn't play your role for the other person.
Yeah.
You should be both wanting it and asking for it, but it's a good thing.
So if what they say is if your wife is not asking you for sex,
there's something
there's something going on. Go and check. That's all I'm going to say to that.
I do have a very good example of how we've compromised in terms of learning each other's cultures, and it has to do with Christmas. So Mary's family traditionally on Christmas Eve, they stay up till midnight and they open up the presents Christmas Eve before going to bed.
That's what Jesus opens.
That's when Jesus opens. And for me and my family, we would always wait until Christmas morning to open up our gifts. So when we first started having children, Mary's like, no, I want them to open up the gifts Christmas Eve. And I said, no, I want them to have that anticipation and open them up Christmas morning. Yeah. So we compromised, and like Mary's family, her sister will come over for dinner typically on Christmas Eve. The kids will stay up late and they'll open up the presents from Mary's side of the family. And then Christmas morning, we'll open up the presents from my side of the family.
And my side is only